Hello, welcome back to How About That Crypto. You are watching your almost daily crypto news and updates with your host, Bitcoin Stylist. Today's news and updates are all good news today. XRP is to be used for remittances in Brazil. There's a local story of the Virginia Fairfax County Pension Fund getting deep into crypto. And $300 million fund just launched for layer 1, layer 2 gaming, and you definitely don't want to miss this. But first, like, subscribe, follow, comment. It all helps support me. It doesn't cost you anything. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, this is not financial advice. Use the links below to do your own research. All right. We got some good news today. Despite price action, development and adoption continues. Our first story is a great example of how the technology is being adopted. It also shows how coins get utility. Let's dive right in. I'm going to share my screen. If you're listening on podcast, you can use the links below to follow along, or you can just listen up. All right. So the Daily Hodl staff writes for the Daily Hodl. Ripple launching XRP fueled payment service in Brazil in partnership with Latin American Bank. So who is Ripple and what is XRP? Well, Ripple Labs created XRP token, and XRP token is the native token to the XRP ledger. So I guess it would be called the XRP coin because coins are native to the ledger. At least that's what some people say. Anyway, that's not important. The point is that what is important is XRP ledger and the XRP token move super fast, super cheap, and they're being used by nations all across the world for their CBDCs. Yes, that's right. Multiple countries have been building on this ledger and using all their technology. So there's been some discrepancy in the reporting and some questions whether or not that they're using the actual XRP token. So I do believe that they are not using the XRP token in a lot of the solutions that they found, primarily because of the lawsuit that, if you've been watching or following crypto, you know the Ripple Labs has been in a lawsuit with the SEC over whether or not XRP token is a security. All right. So who is TravelX Bank? So let me just show you real quick. And I'm going to just scroll down here. This is, according to the press release on Business Wire titled Ripple Launches Crypto-Enabled Enterprise Payments in Brazil with TravelX Bank. So I'm just going to read you a little paragraph here to tell you a little bit something about TravelX. So this is Ana Tena, CEO of TravelX Bank Brazil. TravelX Bank is a 100% digital and 100% personal bank. We were the first exclusive foreign exchange bank approved and regulated by the Central Bank of Brazil. Focus on EFX transactions, we embrace tech to offer the best solutions to individuals and companies of all sizes and for the most diverse sectors. Okay, so let's switch back to the original story. And remember, the title is Ripple launching XRP fueled payment services in Brazil in partnership with Latin America Bank. All right, so I'm going to read a couple paragraphs here. Payments platform Ripple Labs is teaming up with TravelX Bank to bring XRP-based remittances to the 7th most populous nation in the world. According to a new press release, the San Francisco bank-based firm says that the partnership makes TravelX the first bank in Latin America to utilize RippleNet's on-demand liquidity, or ODL, protocol. ODL uses the XRP token to enable fast and low-cost cross-border payments without the need to pre-fund capital in the destination market. TravelX views this as a solution for its partners who are hampered by their limited capital for pre-funding costs. So what they're saying is that in order to set up in order to send money from, let's say Brazil to Nigeria, if you want to send money from Brazil to Nigeria and you use a specific bank, that bank has to have a partner or another branch on the other end with money. So when the Bank of Brazil says, hey, approve this transaction is coming at you, so give this person money, well, there has to be money on the other side. They don't wait for the cash to ship across the country. That's not how it works, or across the globe. So what they're saying is if you just send the money, send the XRP tokens to their wallet, then they can exchange it for the local currency or another currency that's accepted in their market. All right. So Brazil receives 780 million US dollars in cross-border payments every year. But TravelX says that they will start this process only with Mexico to Brazil. So they're doing a little testing and they're going to see, but that's a lot of remittances. What do you think about this? Do you think this is bullish? Do you think that this is BS? I don't know about you, but I think this is super bullish. XRP token, I've been holding on for a long time. I've been following that the case with against the SEC a lot, and I think that they're in a pretty good position to get out of this mess with the SEC. Maybe not completely unscathed, but I do think they can get out of this, and they continue to build. And this is Crypto International going wide and using private networks to send money on. They're not building their own like China did. Okay, that's important. All right, leave a comment below, tell me what you think, and I am moving on. This is kind of huge. Okay, the more of this, the better adoption and price gets. Check this out. Author Josephine Combo and Joshua Franklin report for the Financial Times. Virginia pension fund invests in crypto lending in bid to boost returns. Fairfax County Retirement Systems taps yield farming market despite crisis at groups like Celsius. So I'm just going to read this first paragraph here. A $6.8 billion Virginia pension fund is looking to boost its returns by investing in a crypto lending markets despite a crisis in the sector that has pushed several companies into bankruptcy and left retail investors with heavy losses. $6.8 billion pension fund. That's institutional money. That's the kind of money we want in crypto. We want this. I'm surprised they're in it, considering it hasn't really been legitimized. But I guess that's Virginia. So if you've been watching or paying attention to crypto, you would know that what they're talking about when they say a crisis. Voyager Digital and Celsius, both crypto lending platforms, along with the 3AC or Three Arrows Capital Hedge Fund, which I've been reporting about in the crash. So I'll leave a little link below if you want to go back and find out what I'm talking about. Well, they're all now in bankruptcy. That means that if you had money with them, then now you're a creditor in a lawsuit. You don't get your money back. They have to pay lawyers. They got to raise money. They're like, someone's like, oh, I'll give you money to go through this, but I'm going to get like a piece of your action. So like, we're basically kind of screwed. Anyway, so I'm surprised that I'm seeing this. So check this out. Big losses across the board should scare some of these institutional investors. And that is a concern with having no regulation. There is less money that would invest in the space because lack of regulations. Institutions like guardrails. That said, the chief investment officer of the Fairfax County Police Officers Retirement System says, for those that are still willing to provide liquidity, decent profit seekers, they're actually able to earn more attractive yields at the moment. Check that out. So to show willingness and conviction of the future of this space, check this out. I'm going to read another little excerpt. The Fairfax system recently placed $35 million each with the Paratexas Capital's Digital Yield Fund and VenX New Finance Income Fund, which aims to provide income to investors through short-term lending arrangements with digital asset entities. So basically what this all says is if you're willing to get into the market right now with everything down and all the crisis that has happened, then there's some good money to be made. And they just double down on that to put $35 million to play. All right, I want to just read these last three paragraphs of this. And this is Andrew Spillar, investment chief for Fairfax County employees, says, we started in venture capital and private equity, but once we got more comfortable in the space, we started to think a bit broader about how we might be able to use strategies in digital assets and other parts of the portfolio. Okay, so they're like, yo, we got our feet wet, and then we're like, nah, let's get deeper into this, and they started getting into yield farming. It says the system said their initial investment in the digital asset sector were expected to take a hit of around 50% from this year's market turmoil, but that would still leave the investment up 350%. Boom. What do you think about that? So they must have gotten in early enough to get a lot of yield. And even with the hit, they were able to still be up 3.5x. That's amazing. And then he goes on to say, we're still convicted in our original thesis. Things will bounce back and stronger technologies will probably survive. So I think this is exactly the way it works. Big crash, shake out the bad tech and the bad actors and all the BS stuff. And what remains is good tech and good company. So the space is still raising money. The tech is still going. So so I would say that the tech is good. And now we're getting rid of bad actors like Celsius and Voyager and Three Arrows Capital making stupid moves. All right. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is awesome? And moving on, this is our last story of the day. Author Brandy Betts reports for CoinDesk. Crypto investment firm CoinFund launches $300 million Web3 fund. Sectors of interest of the early stage fund include layer 1 blockchains, gaming, and NFTs. So I said layer 2 earlier, but it's just layer 1, gaming, and NFTs. All right. Some gaming might be a layer 2 project, like they have Axie Infinity is a side chain. So that could be built on Ethereum, wherever, but these people are investing $300 million straight into layer 1 blockchains, gamings, and NFTs. All right, I'm going to play a little video for you. It's just a 2-minute video, so check this out.
Despite the value of VC investments in the crypto industry falling 26% this year, crypto investment firm CoinFund is launching a $300 million Web3 fund for layer 1s, gaming, and NFTs. The fund is going to invest in companies showing commercial traction that belong to a sector with a large total addressable market, according to CoinFund managing partner David Packman. So I'm kind of happy we're ending with this story since we started off with layoffs. I didn't get to say this in the first story, but if you find yourself being laid off, there are still companies in the space that are hiring, and there is still a lot of investment happening. I think that people shouldn't be discouraged when they see the number going down, because it's very clear that people with very deep pockets see the promise of the industry, and builders are still building. So if you have the solution to a problem in this space and the determination to start something, there's money out there for you. Adam, I see you nodding away, so I'm going to kick this off to you first.
I mean, I think it's pretty consistent, which is, again, you're seeing players who seem to have played the sort of situation over the last 6 or 9 months correctly, consolidating. You're seeing them pulling in more investment dollars, just as, the players who didn't do quite so well, or maybe in bankruptcy right now they're not really viable targets to put cash into at this point. So there's clearly something significant, something disruptive happening in Web3. There's clearly something disruptive happening across the crypto sector. It makes sense to me that CoinFund would double down like this. And the thing that you get during bear markets is you get better deals, right? Because all the competition from all the hot money isn't there. Instead, you're only competing against the people who have played it right and kept some capital for when this kind of came along. So I think it's not surprising. I think it's a good sign overall, but honestly, I would have been surprised if we weren't seeing things like this. It would be, I think, a bad thing were we not seeing the continued launch of these types of funds. Zach?
All right. So basically he's like, yo, it's a great time to buy. Apparently someone to the tune of $300 million thinks so. Also, if this wasn't happening, that would be a bad sign. The fact that it's a good sign. And they were also saying that a lot of layoffs are happening, but other firms are hiring. And if you have an idea for crypto Web3, write it up, pitch it. You might get funded, because these people are still raising money. All right, let me just kind of go down a little bit here. And it says CoinFund, a crypto-specific investment firm, inaugurated a $300 million venture capital fund to back early-stage blockchain projects. So, and which is a sign of investor confidence in the industry plagued by bear market. Every time someone asks me, how's crypto doing? I was like, well, are you asking about the price? Are you asking about the development, the adoption, etc.? So here you go. The CoinFund Ventures 1 fund will invest in companies showing commercial traction that also belong to a crypto sector with a large total addressable market, said David Packman, CoinFund manager managing partner and venture investing head, in an interview with CoinDesk. Areas of interest include layer 1 blockchains, Web3 infrastructure, non-fungible tokens, and gaming and asset management. While the value of venture capital investments in the crypto industry fell 26% during the first half of 2022 compared with the same period last year, the number of deals remains solid. So I'm going to just say that again. The value of venture capital investments fell 26% in the first half of this year compared with the same period last year. The number of deals remained solid, suggesting a shift towards earlier, smaller funding rounds. The new purse was announced a little over a year after the firm raised $83 million. So money being raised is down 26%. I'm surprised it's only down 26% from the first half of the year, considering everything that's happened. And they are raising money, way more money than they've originally raised a year ago when everything was hot. So I think that's a pretty interesting thing. So let me just read this last thing here. So this is the same dude from CoinFund, the guy that works at the fund. These kinds of market swings are sort of par for the course, he said. As long as you're focused on building something important that will capture lots of value over time, the markets will cooperate at some point. AKA, we don't know what the price is. We are having prices go all over the place because we're still building. We still are seeing adoption. So the more these projects grow, the more utility they get, the more adoption, the more friendly the regulations get to allow this institutional money to continue to flow, and people are actually using this stuff. Then it says, based on all this, then eventually we're going to find the market's going to figure it out. So we might lose all this volatility. And then you're going to be like, oh man, I missed the days of volatility. But right now you're like, damn. Anyway, what do you think? Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I think all this is super big news. And I can't wait to see what you all think. So, all right. Have a good day. Hodl on.